Set.
Connection. Successful.
Successful.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to On the Mat, Bula everybody. My name is Jonathan. Behind the camera we're gonna get everybody involved today too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Flip. Bula everybody.
Tui is behind the camera.
And
Oh, you can just flip it like. Welcome to On the Mat, guys. This is just the time where we hang out with each other, and appreciate you guys' support of the Waka family. Our last name is actually Batisarisari. We are from Maduwata, and we moved here in 2020. For those of you who don't know, we moved here in 2020 and to pursue something different and hopefully to do something different in Fiji. How's the connection?
set.
Set? We don't come from a long family line of like business owners or anything, so trying to do something new and something fresh, just have some dreams, hopes and dreams, and so trying to utilize social media to build an audience made up of you guys, and then be able to add products into it. And so we just launched our newest company called Waka Media, and our focus with that company is to help your business get more customers through the creation of short form video content and photography that actually kind of explains to people the why behind the what that you actually do. Because a lot of us just try to advertise a product, and not many people actually really care about the product because there's a lot of options for product. They want to know, I think behind the psychology of every customer is like, why should I purchase from you? What makes you better? You can be cheaper, but that's kind of a never-ending race to the bottom. And so I believe that you guys should get the most for the product. You guys should charge more than everybody else instead of the least to get content for businesses and also for non-governmental organizations, NGOs or CSOs, that you guys can get more donors and that your businesses can get better quality customers. And so, go check us out at wakamedia.com/media. And you guys are supposed to ask me questions, and then I answer them live. And so whether that's about life, whether that's about something going on in current events, or sports, or just have a conversation about Fiji or the Pacific or the world. And so appreciate God, or my sacrifice. So this is King David talking. My sacrifice, O God, is a broken spirit and a broken and contrite heart. O God, you will not despise. Okay, contrite means feeling or showing sorrow and remorse for a wrong that one has done. So in the Bible, Nathan the prophet comes and talks to David and tells him about the punishment that he'll get for basically sleeping around with this woman. And this woman is named Bathsheba. Her husband he sent to the front lines in the army, and so that he would just die, so that he could just take this guy's wife. And so he was the king, David was the king, and so he could do whatever he wanted. And so he got this guy killed, and then he took this guy's wife. And pretty bad thing, but in the Bible, David is described as a man after God's own heart, which is really weird because he did some things. But in my devotions today and through many messages that I've heard on Sundays and growing up as a Christian, probably the thing to take away from it is that he had a contrite heart. He felt, and he showed remorse for the things that he had done. And he actually made a song about it, about the things that he did and the mistake that he made, which is really crazy for a king. Think about a leader who apologizes in public for the things that they do. There's not a lot of those in Fiji. There's not a lot of those in the world. And David was a man after God's heart, I believe, because he led with humility, and he showed us what apology should really look like. So, contrite.
Contrite.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a new word.
Yeah.
Is that
So-
from King James?
No, that is the NIV. So,
NIV.
yeah, I think a lot of translations use that. But today, apart from Waka Media, today is brought to you guys by Radar Tires. And so I just got this new set of tires installed. Radar Tires is actually a brand of tires. It's distributed by A. Hussein, our global warehouse. And I just got the new Renegade AT Sport, I believe they're called. So it's kind of like, it's an all-terrain tire. I would say it's more for, it's probably 60-40 on-road, off-road, so 60% for tar seal or on the tarmac, and then probably 40% for gravel roads or off-road. It's not a mud tire, it's not a street tire. It's kind of in between, but more biased towards street tire. I haven't tried Radar tires before. As you guys know, or as you might not know, I do work closely with these distributors. They allowed me to have this set of tires so that I could review it, and so far so good. They're really quiet. It's the quietest set of tires that I've had in Fiji. The roads in Fiji are very rough, especially, and even the tarmac uses very sharp stones. You might not think it does, but when you go overseas, and because I used to run a lot, like road run, when I road run in Fiji on the tar seal, the stones that we use here are super sharp, and so they really eat away at tires, and they're really bad for lots of road noise. And so these are very, very quiet tire. It is yet to be seen how long they're going to last, because usually a quiet tire is a soft compound tire. I'm saying these things because I used to be a mechanic, and so these are just some of the things that I learned. So you usually get a quiet tire. It's usually, if you get a quiet tire, it might be soft compound, which means it might not last as long. But so far so good. I love that I can just there's just less road noise in the cabin of my D-Max over here, 2017 D-Max. So yeah. Question?
No, just from Della Bakabu. Well, I'm a number one fan of this family, especially
Thank you.
watching Seva and Eliki.
Of course.
I'm watching from acute surgical ward, bed 4.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
it's in the hospital. Yeah.
Shout out to Bed 4. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on over there. Obviously, you can't talk about it, but life can be, and I'll go into this in more detail, but life can be hard until you start getting sick and your physical health disappears. So shout out to Bed 4 in CWM, I assume, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, praying for you that things turn around. I was struck yesterday. We went to the beach yesterday, and we just found this. There's been this beach. I've talked about it. People in my circle are sick of hearing me talk about this beach, but it's on the way to Samsavu, and there's this. I fished from the ocean before, and I saw that apparently there's this Chinese development that was supposed to be building a hotel on this beach. It's a beautiful beach. So when I fished from the ocean with my friend Mike, who owns Immersion Fiji, I saw that this bulldozer was slowly, weeks over weeks, cutting its way down to the edge of the ocean. Finally, it made it. And we used to go and kind of chill in this bay. And I was like, man, this is going to be so disappointing when there's a hotel here. It's just going to totally change the dynamic. I guess it never went through. But this bulldozer cut a perfect trail down that is no longer used. It's barely even used by foot traffic. And so yesterday, after many months of discussing, we should do it one day, we actually went down. And it wasn't that hard to get to. It was a smooth road. It's a bit muddy, but we found this awesome little beach, and just hung out there for the day. Went fishing and hung out with the kids. Found a rope swing. I think there's some of the local villagers from that area. I won't say where it is, but from that area they net down there, and so but they all access it by Bilibili or by a watercraft, or boats, or boto. They say boto there. Oh, I guess in Takondrome, right? Yeah. So we say wanga, they say boto, yeah. Which is kind of
Frog.
Yeah, frog. Yeah, it's just funny. It's so close, and then the word is totally different. But anyways, on the way back, we stopped at the Rota Lookout Cafe. Probably shouldn't be talking about them because maybe they could consider them competition, but whatever. I hope they succeed. They have the most beautiful spot overlooking the Sabusabu Bay, and I was just sitting there, and I'm like, man, life is. I'll get into it in more detail in a bit, but I was just thankful in that moment to have 2 kids that were just healthy, because there's just some of you guys may be listening. Your kids aren't healthy, and it's not like my kids might be healthy forever. At any point, anything can happen. But in that moment, I just need to be thankful for this, and just enjoy that moment, just with the view and my kids just having a chocolate smoothie and a fruit smoothie, and so I'm talking about this because bed 4 is obviously not doing too well. So, shout out to
Della Bakabu.
Della.
Della Bakabu. Yeah, Della.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for watching.
This is from Shaimal.
Shema.
I have a fair idea about that place because I saw where your vehicle was parked.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so we actually, by all means, it's not my beach. I just, like, I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want a lot of people going down there. But, like, everybody has every right to go down there. What we did yesterday, you might have even seen us, some of you. We went down to the village because we're going to release a vlog on this next week, just about how we should be going into other people's property in Fiji. And so, Fiji, for those of you who don't know, it's not really a place like Canada where you can just, like, there's a lot of crown land where there's just roads that are cut for forestry, and Canada's the second largest country on earth, right? And so there's thousands, millions of miles of just, like, uncharted trails that have only ever been touched by bulldozers and skidders. And so you can go camping in all these places without asking permission from anybody. But in Fiji, because it's so small, all land is either fenced off or called private because it's freehold and purchased, or it's crown. Very little of it is, but most of it is owned by the landowning units, or the Matangalis.
Yeah.
And so we actually went down into the village to find the Turani Koro, the village spokesperson. He wasn't there, so we talked to some people. We went to the Turani Abusa's house, so the head of the clan, and he wasn't there, but we had actually passed him on the way. Shaimal.
Yeah.
So Shaimal, we had actually passed him on the way down the hill. We had a sebu, like a roots of kava, basically,
Yeah.
that we had taken with us, and we wanted to ask permission to go onto the land. And so we'd actually passed him on our way down the hill, and his wife at the house, after Koroy had graciously done our whole sebu, she was like, I can't really say yes or no.
Yeah.
It's not my place. My husband just walked up the road to do whatever. And we're like, oh, was he wearing this and this shirt? It's like, yeah. So we drove up the road, and we actually just sat on the side of the road and did our sebu, and he was like, yeah, by all means.
Just did it on the road.
Yeah, we just right on the grass, yeah. And so I like that, actually.
Yeah.
That was, because the whole point of the vlog that we were filming was just wanted to show you guys, like, how easy it is. Like, even if you're Indo-Fijian, like, I just want to show people, like, you don't, it's almost like at this point in our culture, it's the thought that counts. And so, who cares about being different? I mean, I walk into the village, like, you know, half white, half black, with a son who's white and the other son who looks like me, and it's like, you know, like, what are these people doing? And it's like, no, just what we want to do, just so that, like, because if we were walking down that trail and we know that the Turanibusa goes down there because one of his traps was down there, and the pig belonged to, that was his trap, he said. He talked to somebody in the village. That was the Turanibusa's pig. So there was a trap on the way down to the beach, and it was his, there's a pig in the trap I found. And so, if, you know, obviously he goes down there every once in a while, and so it would have been super awkward for me, maybe, yeah, for you guys probably, just to, like, see him and be like, hey, what's up, you know, like,
dying inside.
I'd be dying inside, yeah. And it just felt like the right thing to do. And so, he's really relaxed about it, like,
if you're not gonna do the same,
yeah.
like there's like a Fijian ways of, and we walk down there without doing the same, and there's no pig. One of us will get the trap.
Oh, like trapped in the trap.
Yeah, like if we don't do a same.
Oh yeah, right. I see what you're saying. Like a superstition.
Because I saw the trap and it was like new, like the rope is still new.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe just did it this morning or yesterday.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
So
because even the piece of wood that he had used, it was like the branches. There's a special tree that you use for these traps, and there was the branches were still like they were freshly cut. Like it might have only been a couple days old. So, yeah. Anyways, Shaimal. I guess you know where we were. And so you're more than welcome to go down there, dude. It's a sick beach. It is awesome, but you got to be willing to sweat because it's a ways down. Obviously, you see that elevation you're at, so it's a sweat to get down and get back up. But
Yeah.
I think it's worth it.
There's a question. Sorry, from Maria. Maria Bula Bakarua. Bula just had
Bula.
pizza from you guys today. Really enjoyed it and watching you guys having a good time at the pool table.
Oh,
Friendly customer service. Vinaka.
Lisa, Maria, thank you. You should have said hi because So here's the thing, Maria. You might have been the lady in the Kalavata
Chamba?
in the Chamba
Oh,
who
okay.
came in with your husband in the rental car, and so I always try to make eye contact with people briefly. I don't expect everybody to know me. That would be really narcissistic of myself. And so, I wasn't trying to be unfriendly. I'm not going to be like, hey, you know me, welcome to the shop, and so, next time just say hi. But if you don't want to, it's totally cool. Thank you for supporting Archie and the girls at the shop. That's who you met today. And yeah, that's so funny, like to see you here now. Yeah. Yeah.
From Devox Bill. Thanks again. Watching from the Holiday Inn, Suba family.
What's up?
It's the
Oh,
Holiday Inn.
Bill.
Bill.
So is this Bill? Are you
Yeah.
Bill? Really, the guy
guy.
that we?
Yeah, it's
Talk-
Bill. Yeah,
it's him?
Devox Bill.
Dude. Willa, really? What's up, man? Dude, I really hope that you get the best treatment at that job. You know what's funny? Really is we posted that picture of you and we tagged you. No, we didn't. We tagged Holiday Inn, I think. And then I got a message from somebody, one of our followers, who was there a few weeks ago, and saying that really is the best. So, like, we don't have lots of followers, like, but somebody in our circle also recognized that, like, dude, you're the best. And so, yeah, keep doing what you're doing, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you're special, and if you ever don't have a job, then let me know. Because you're the kind of guy I'd like to work with, and so you deserve the very best. Thank you for being here.
Naka.
Yeah.
Okay, one question here for you. What's this? Oh, Ray Valentine. Bula. What camera are you using for live stream? Oh, we use what do we use?
We're using this camera,
Yeah.
iPhone 14 Pro.
14
that's it.
Pro. Yeah.
With DJI mics for
DJI
audio.
mics.
So right now, you guys. I don't know how good you can hear me or not, but we use these DJI Rode. Are they Rode? No, DJI
Mic. Yeah.
Mic 2s.
Yeah.
So they just released the Mic 3s, so it's probably even better sound suppression. But it's raining, so if you guys can hear me at all, it's not bad because it's hard to hear each other actually. But I think the key, if anybody, how many people are on right now?
I don't
Few?
know.
There's a few of you guys on there
Yeah.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Facebook and YouTube we're streaming on right now?
Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody. One of the things that I talked about at the women's convention, can't believe I was a guy sharing at the women's convention, but that's just what happened. But I'll talk about that after this, don't let me forget.
Yeah.
Was that like every company should be a social media company? And there's a lot of people who disagree with that, but eventually I plan to make so much content that we will just drown out everyone, and our team shadow will be so big that like anybody who wants to associate with Fiji will just have to come through us. And so you should do the same thing. Like just create content. And I just think that is what was the comment? What was that person said?
Oh, no, just like asking about the
Oh yeah.
camera.
Just like create
Right.
content for the business. I don't know, Ray, if you're in business or whatever, but people oftentimes they complicate content creation, why do I believe so heavily in content creation? Just because, like, for starting from nothing in 2020s, I just think like it'd be silly to try to not use it. I mean, why not build your audience so that like today I made a post. We were hanging out at the river with the boys, and then I did a call to action. I was like, hey, we just launched our media company. If you guys like have a business and you want to promote, just go to our website. And you know, several thousand people saw it. That's a bunch of advertising that I didn't have to, you know, physically pay for. I didn't have to go to TV to do that.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us have phones that can shoot video. It doesn't have to be an iPhone 14 Pro. I'm rolling with a iPhone 10R because I can't afford to get it. Tui, our content manager, he has the nice phone because that makes sense for us. But like, if your phone can take pictures and video, like, you have the ability to create content, and that's just it. Like, a lot of people just get, and I did, get hung up in the video quality and having this and having that. And you know, like, we have a Sony A7R III with a DJI RSC2 gimbal with a DJI Rode mic and ND filters, and like, we have like $15,000 worth of gear, but we rarely pull it out because it's a lot of work and it's clumsy and it's not convenient. Like, this iPhone gets the most use. And so just to anybody who wants to create content, if you have a phone that takes pictures and takes video, like, you have the ability to do what we're doing. And like I said at the WIN conference, like, your story is relatable to somebody. You're not the only person going through it. And so even if you feel like, oh, I just live in, I don't know, Kinoya, and I just go to work every day, like, I don't have an exciting life, and I'm just trying to side hustle, like baking cakes. It's like, dude, talk about it. Talk about your hustle. Like, somebody will relate with that and cling on to it. So,
Yeah.
anyways, that's a rant. That's what I do. We just rant.
Alright, okay. Ryan ready in the chat. Man, long time, man.
Dude, Ryan, what's up, dude? MIA. I was worried about you.
So he's got a question for you.
I like this. Like, we have a bunch of like headlines here, but if we don't make it to them, it's totally cool with me.
What are your thoughts on the immigration department? There are individuals having trouble getting hold of someone from the department regarding visa application, tourism questions, doing business, etc.
Okay, come again.
What are your thoughts on the immigration department? There are individuals having trouble getting hold of someone from the department regarding visa application, tourism questions, doing business, etc.
All right. Okay, Ryan. I will give you a contact for the head of immigration in Fiji. There we go. Her name is Amelia, right? You want her number? Okay, 990-5188. So, if you missed that, you can go back. I'll say it again. So, head of immigration, Fiji, for, I think it's like people coming in. I don't know what it's called. But anyways, Amelia Komaisavai, right? 990-5188. Call her. She might be able to help you. She works for us, right? I mean, we pay her. I don't know, Ryan, if you live in Fiji or you have family in Fiji, they pay her wages, so put her to work. Get people in her department to do some work. Not that they don't do work, but I mean, like, we can call these people if we need their assistance and if something's not happening, so give her a ring. Go ahead.
No, just laughing
No.
at what you say.
Shoot. People are like, oh my gosh, dude.
It's from Vano. Bull Bro used to live in Aitutaki Island in the Cook Islands.
Where? How do you spell it?
Aitutaki. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Are you
all right.
related to him, the late Emory Waka? Just ask.
Oh, no, but I'm looking him up right now. Emoriwanga?
Waka. I'm gonna waka related.
Hey. No, I'm not. And my last name is Batisarisari, actually, for those of you who don't know. Actually, okay, so this is a funny story that people might not know. And our name is
Sorry.
actually Batisarisari with an E. Sare, for our family here. Very small Matangali in this village. One village and one Matangali, okay? Which is pretty rare. And so when my mom and dad got married, they went to do their registration or marriage certificate. They misspelled the last name on the marriage certificate. And they put Batisarisari with Sari, I's instead of E's. And my parents said that they just never went and got it changed. And so since that time, we are now Batisarisari. And so there's no other name, to my knowledge, of that name here. But when people hear it, they know that we're related, linked to this family. But it's just like, I was like, dude. I was like, I can't believe you didn't get that fixed, huh?
It's the spelling that makes it like if there's some others that's Batisarisari,
Okay.
like some other names.
There is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But then when you guys say it's Batisarisari,
Yeah, here. Yeah.
so automatically you are related to them because of your name,
Yeah.
the spelling.
Yeah, yeah. There's people I know that I don't even know I'm related to.
That guy there, like that pizza. Is his name Batisarisari or Batisarisari?
Which one?
The one in Tambia. Then.
That's a good question.
Mm.
I think he said Batisarisari,
Yeah.
like with an I.
Yes, that's what makes it confusing.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So, thanks to the BDM office of 1989.
Okay, from Isimelu, why you use waka?
All right. So I'm sitting, rewind to 2017. And I'm sitting here on this veranda exactly with my dad and Stephanie. And we're sat here looking at that mountain in the background. Can they see it?
Yeah.
Right? And we just come to the realization after chatting with a business mentor who said that don't bother trying to run a business from overseas. Like, if you want advice, move to Fiji and then give me a call. With that in mind, we were like, okay, something needs to be done here. There's so much unused resources, natural resources. Hey, with who? With Big Atama? No. Big one, we need some big kids. Sorry. There's a child here. Eliki's here, and he wants to go swimming. And the river is not flooded, but it's a bit flowing fast. And so I never let the kids go down by themselves. And so I let them go down with their older cousins, but you need to go down with somebody who's, okay? You know what I mean? All right. If you're going to go inside, though, make sure you wash your feet first. We just cut the grass. Lots of grass inside. So we're looking at the mountain, and it's like, yeah, it was just one of those things where I had a realization, and I couldn't shake it. Like, now that I know about it, I have to do something about it. And I just saw, like, we have a small village, right? And so, maybe my situation is pretty unique because a lot of people might come from big villages with big clans and big yavusas, but we don't. And so every time a family member leaves from our village, like, it's really felt. And so over the years, like, a lot of us have gone overseas, including my parents. And some people have pointed that out, like, oh, you guys are people to talk. Like, even your parents had left. And so, yeah, they did leave. But I saw that my roots were slowly disappearing. And that, like, if in a few generations, there would be nothing left here. And so the whole mindset behind coming back was coming back to our roots. And hence why, I don't know if you can see it on the truck behind me, but it says, like, our tagline is, it's in our roots. And so to come back to our roots, to preserve them so that, like, I can hopefully, like, help to create industry in this village, in Fiji, in the outer island, so that, like, we don't have to keep leaving Fiji, so that, like, we don't need to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. There's people overseas that make heaps of money that are miserable. I just want people to have an option to stay here so that we can look after our families, so that, like, my grandma, she doesn't have to go to, like, an old folks home. And so that I can hopefully look after her, and there's something beautiful about this that will be lost if we keep leaving. And some of us have to leave, and that's okay. But it's in our roots. We came back to our roots to preserve our roots. And therefore, our tagline. We decided our tagline actually before, and it was like, yeah, it's in our roots. And then we threw around a bunch of names, and it's like Waka, which means roots, but definitely 99% of the time refers to the roots of the kava plant or yangona. And so it is a bit confusing for people because they just think we're kava farmers, but I think we've passed that point. And so just Waka because it's in our roots, because we're here, because we want to preserve the roots here. And I believe that we can do something really major. I believe Fiji has a huge, much bigger market share of the South Pacific than any other nation. And so if our company can try to stand on that platform and leap off of it, we can do something really, really special. And so, yeah, that's why Waka, because it's in our roots, and we're coming back to our roots. And so that's why we called ourselves the Waka family, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Just gonna read this comment, and then I'll get into the guy who's staying at the hospital in bed.
Oh, okay.
So Ray, back to Ray, yeah? Watching from, how do you say?
Doni,
Qatar.
Doni, sorry.
Appreciate-
Doni, can I have one bottle of water, please, from the fridge? Thank you, buddy.
Qatar. Appreciate.
Qatar?
Yeah.
Wow.
Appreciate the vlogs you guys post. Can't wait to get back to the Nandi sunset. So, these guys are from Nandi. I think he's a younger brother, friend of mine, Russell Valentine. So he
Okay.
creates content too. He's a YouTuber.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Him and his wife, they create content back in. He's a British Army. So. yeah,
Okay.
so he's a small brother. Yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna go back to Ndalawakabu, right?
Yeah,
That guy.
Yeah.
The guy in the bed 4.
Maybe I shouldn't feel sorry for him.
So last week, he was at the coffee shop at around 1:45 a.m.
He?
Yeah,
Okay.
stopped by at your shop and took a picture with my uniform on the yellow ribbon. A program last week in Lambasa, but today I'm watching from hospital bed. Anyways, thanks for the dedication and buluvinaka to my Matangali Koroi. So is that so?
Whoa.
So yeah. So this is the picture.
Can they see it? I'll show it to them first.
Yeah.
Can they see it?
Yeah. So he posted that in one of our videos.
What?
It's like one. Yeah.
Whoa. And dude, usually we don't keep the lights on. There's a new shop right beside us, and they asked us, hey, can you keep your lights on so that we can play pool at night? We're like, okay, sure.
It's for him. Like
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. Ndalawakabu.
Dalabakabu.
Okay. So now he's in hospital?
Yeah.
Dude. Thank you for the support, man. But I hope everything turns around for you, dude. That's not good.
Yeah.
I'm the number one fan for.
Man, appreciate you, dude. Appreciate you very much. So if somebody calls you Matangali, that means they're from Telugu?
Like we're from the Kumuna Federation. It's from Tailevu, Ra,
Okay.
Ba.
Oh, okay. So, so that's usually Tau to us then?
Yeah.
They'll be Tau, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And your drills will be our Naita.
Naita. Okay, yeah, night, eh? Okay, this is for you, my Tau. Get better, dude. Get better.
It's from Nitasiri. Okay. Opo na nga.
Pas ni nakil on tabi chungo.
Quack. This is my quack.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Jared Sutherland, Bulare.
What's up, Jared?
Can I call you Kaz, since it seems we are kind of related?
We very well probably are. Through my grandmother. Yep.
Is it Good Friday or Bad Friday?
Liam, Bula from Tevini.
Hey, Liam.
He says,
Just saw,
is it a Good Friday or Bad Friday?
Bad. Might be bad. Eh?
Yeah.
Bad Friday today.
It is Good Friday, actually. I should have started off with that. It is actually Good Friday. Yeah, good. That's funny. But it's actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, sorry we couldn't make it. Yeah, couldn't make it this weekend.
Yeah, there's. Okay, I'll just tell everybody what's going on. Yeah, okay, so Liam, yeah, we couldn't make it this weekend because we've had a bunch of bills that popped up at the coffee shop. I'm talking about this, but I have the platform, so I guess I'll talk about it. It's been really slow this year at the coffee shop. And we've been putting money in to keep it going. And so that's okay. I mean, Amazon was like 15 years in, non-profitable until they took over the world. And so that doesn't scare me. It doesn't really worry me. I know that we're building something special, and it just starts in Siaganga, and that's just starting my roots. But yeah, it's anyways, we had a bunch of bills come up, and so I can't afford to come out, and so we'll definitely come out one day.
Yeah.
And hang out, because I did plan on. I thought that'd be fun because Stephanie's gone, and so it would have been fun to just come and hang out. But I know that there'll be a better time to do it, and so yeah. For those of you who do stop by the coffee shop, like it sounds like cliche, but every dollar matters, and so yeah, we appreciate everybody who supports us very, very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Liam.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So before we jump into the headlines, I guess I'll just talk, and because like we talk about mental health a lot on here. I don't want this to be like a feeling sorry session for me or whatever, and this could definitely be taken out of context. But some weeks are great, and some weeks are not as good as others, right? And I think maybe people can relate. And please don't feel sorry for me. I'm not trying to be like. I'm just trying to be like, hey, this is, you guys can talk about this. I just happen to be talking to, in the next week this will have like 20,000 views. So welcome to my life. Yeah. Hey, dude. This has been a tough week for me. And Steph has not been here this week. She's on a vacation with her childhood best friend, and I didn't realize how much support that we give to each other. And this just sounds like really, I might get ripped apart for this, but I don't care. We talk a lot and obviously support each other a bunch. And I think not having like a good outlet this week and having like a pretty frustrating start to the year, because there's been a lot of pressure on me from a bunch of different angles, like investors that we have, potential investors that we may have in the future, and yeah, obviously I'm trying to be a good dad as well, and so, and be a good boss. But yeah, it's been hard to. I spoke at the women. I'm all over the place here. But I spoke at the women's convention this last week, and maybe some people think I look really comfortable up on the stage. But it does take a lot out of you to do a good job of that, I guess. And so there's like lots of things like I would do it again 100 times over, so I'm not complaining. But I just felt like there's a lot of pressure, and it's probably just me being in my feels because I don't have Stephanie here to like chat about things with. But in all honesty, and this is something that I have to deal with, is that it's been hard to. This is really bad of me. It's been hard to like see her just like chilling and not chilling. Like she deserves every moment that she's getting to enjoy this last week. But it's been hard for me in my mind to be here while my other half is just out like having a good time. And for whatever reason, I was trying to figure it out over the past couple days. I've had moments to like think about it, and I have lots of things like looking up for me, but yeah, it's just been a tough week. I think I'm a jealous guy too. I think I'm jealous of Stephanie like going out and just like having fun, and I feel like there's been so much pressure that I haven't been able to let off steam, I guess. And I think the pressure, the feeling of pressure is exacerbated because I am here and she is there. And so, yeah, whatever. I just wanted to like tell you guys like how I'm feeling this week. And I'm just like, I'm counting on the days till she gets back. And it's only been a week, so it's like, don't feel sorry for me. I'm not asking you guys to feel sorry for me. I'm just saying like, hey, this is what's up with my life right now, and this is how I'm dealing with it. And I don't think I'm dealing with it very well. And so, yeah, I want to be a good dad to these guys. And I want to be a good person to the people around me, and a good coworker, and a good boss, and I don't think that I always am. And I really struggle to be a dad and to be an entrepreneur at the same time. And I think I can be that at moments through the day when Stephanie's here. Like she'll be the mom, and then I'll be the entrepreneur, and then I'm the dad and she's the entrepreneur. And so, yeah, it's been like many years now of like, we're 4 years into Fiji, and I still feel like we haven't really made much progress, I guess. And so I feel like I could be doing better than I am doing, I guess. I'm just feeling the pressure, I think, because things are tight, financially speaking. And I am, yeah, it's like kind of feels like make it or break it, I guess, a bit. And I think a lot of people might be able to relate with that. I just feel like, you know, like me and Stephanie have been married for 14 years now, or no, 12 years, I guess. 12 years, sorry. And it's like, man, some people, like, they make it, like, right away. And some of us choose this road, and it's not the easy road. And I'm just like, oh, when are we going to, like, crack the code, you know? And sometimes it's tough, yeah. But yeah. Trying to figure it out.
Yeah. That's tough, man. for whatever it's worth, bro. Like, I really appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you having me here and working for you guys. It's been a blessing, and it's only been a year now, and I just like feel like I belong with this family, that I need to like start something together, and everything just feels right, man. Like
Yeah,
my
for sure.
mental health and like you, staff, and the boys, and it's just you guys have been a blessing, man. So whatever you're doing, bro, I see like the work that you put in, you know, and we tend to like it always hurts when I read some of like the comments and like people with negative thoughts and all those things, because I know the type of person that you are,
Right.
and sometimes I just like, yeah, it gets the best of me, and then I realize like, hey, I try to phase out for him because they don't know who you guys are, and I know you and the work and everything that you put in to try and make it, and I bet it's like from all of the staff and everybody in the coffee shop and me, Koroi, we really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
We love you, and like we love this family, and we really appreciate the opportunity.
And I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and like I'm all for it with you guys through this journey, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that, you know, we'll make the break one day. So yeah, just want to say, man, thank you so much for this. Yeah.
No, I think we have like a great team, and I appreciate you very much. I don't think we'd be able to achieve what we've achieved without you, and Koroi as well. Yeah, guys, like, don't feel, I'm not trying to be like, you guys are like, holy crap, sorry, my kids are here. Guy's wife is gone for a week, and he's like a mess. And yeah, I guess I am. I think just the combination of just like lots of pressure and I heard this saying a while ago, and it's like, people don't ask people like us like how we're doing. And I'm not saying, I think Stephanie is that person for me. And this was in a podcast, and it was a guy who was a mentor for Dwayne Johnson for The Rock. And he called him one day and he asked him, how are you doing? And The Rock answered him, and he's like, well, said all this stuff, and he's like, no, like, how are you actually doing? He's like, why are you asking? He's like, well, because people don't ask people like us how we're doing, because we're supposed to have our shit together, basically. And so, like, yeah, maybe ask somebody around you, like, how are you doing? I mean, I think this week has been like a very testing just week for me, for whatever reason. I think because I miss Steph, because like she's my support system, and like I by no means like I'm not the man who makes it all happen. Like, we're very much a team, and she's probably 80% of it. But like, I see you go through stuff, sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a couple times in my life where I felt like anxiety, and I think this week I've like really, really felt it. I felt it deeper for shorter moments, but I've never felt it for like this long. And it's good for me to feel this, because it helps me to relate to people who just have like this like overburdening weight of like, whatever it is. If like you feel like you're let down, or you feel like, like you should be doing better than you're actually doing, or maybe it's even simple things. Like, I don't know, maybe one of you guys has felt like you have the love of your life, and maybe you're not married, but maybe it's like a complicated situation where you're like at odds with each other, and you see them going out and like having fun, and you're like just sitting there just being like, oh, I wonder what they're doing. And I'm not worried about Steph, by the way, guys, but like just the feeling of being like, you know, like I don't even know if I'm in love with that person, or I don't even know. I'm talking about like single here, or like it's complicated status people. Like that would just eat me alive, because the guys are like, Stephanie's my first girlfriend, love of my life, and so I don't have a bunch of experiences to talk about, and so like I can only imagine what it's like for people who are in its complicated situations and maybe really have a crush on somebody, and then like that person's crushing on somebody else or something. And so I'm saying this because I feel a bit of anxiety, and it feels like super heavy. And that's just what I've been feeling. And so just ask somebody around you how they're doing. The question, I'm trying to start something new with our coffee shop.
Yeah.
And we're going to call it Fresh Moments, and I hope that other people like do their own. If you guys want like easy content to create, I think this was like a really easy one. If you have a phone, we're going to just go up to people on the street. Like if you say hi to me, I might come and ask you. And the thing, we already did one, we filmed one, and we're just going to call them Fresh Moments. We filmed Fresh Moment number 1. Next one is going to be number 2. And the question is simply, what's important to you right now, and how are you dealing with it? Shout out to my friend Nelson in Canada, who is actually trained in psychology and a bunch of stuff. And this was his question that he would ask his closest friends when he met them. Like we would meet like in the line at a grocery store, and he'd be like, hey man, what's important to you right now? How are you dealing with it? Instead of just being like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Good. Boring. It's just like that question just cuts right to it. And so it's like, what's important to you right now, and how are you dealing with it is on a different level than like, how are you doing today? What's going on? It allows for conversation. And I think that like in Fiji, a lot of us we want us to spoil each other. We just want to like, there's this thing where, sorry, I'm ranting, like super ranting right now. I've talked about this very long ago, but in the past, like my dad explained it to me in the Fijian culture. One thing that we had that would give us the upper hand on other warring tribes, you know, tribes that you were fighting against around, is deception. And so that is something that our culture really, really struggles with. And I see it more than ever now living here. And that is like not putting all your cards on the table for everybody to see. To the point, like, I'll give you an example. Like if you're going to the farm and you come back and you have like a bag full of like yangkona that you've harvested, like you will literally like, or yam was a good one because that's what we actually did. People will like fill a sack full of yam from your harvest, and then on top of the yam you'll put like breadfruit. And so when people are like, oh, what do you have? You're like, oh, it's some breadfruit. Because you don't want people to know that you actually harvested like yam, because yam is very valuable, and yam is like man, that's, you know, that's something to talk about, right? Yeah. And so just for whatever reason, just so they don't know everything about you, you'll just say, oh, it's breadfruit. Just so that that person just doesn't know everything about what you just did. Yeah. For no reason at all, you just deceive. And I think that culture now was stemmed from warring times, where like the main way of like staying alive was to be secretive and to move in the darkness and to be deceptive with each other. And now that carries on. We're not the spoiling, but the like, I don't want to tell you everything about me, because if you know everything about me, then like you have the upper hand. And whether or not like that's how you think about it, I think that's where it stems from. And so I would just encourage everybody just to like just to be with that person who asks to like, what's important to you right now and how are you dealing with it, or be the person that instigates that conversation. Yeah. Because I'll get into it in a bit. There was a person who asked about gossip in the workplace, and she's just having a hard time with it. And it's like, maybe counter gossip with like, what's important to you right now and how are you dealing with it? Instead of, I don't want to talk about those people, like let's talk about you. And like, what's hard right now? What are you enjoying in your life right now? And like, how are you dealing with it? Like, I guess this whole session up to this point has been me telling you guys what's important to me right now and how I've been dealing with it. I felt a lot of pressure, and it's obviously been kind of getting to me. And I don't think I'm dealing with it very well. Luckily, I've been hanging out with Kroy and Tui during the evenings, and that's kind of helped me. It's not about like a lot of people will joke and be like, "Oh, you're not having sex," like that's what's getting to you. It's like there's some people who like make love like every night. That's not us. We are like just like so in tune with each other, and so like when she's not here, I'm kind of like useless, I guess. And so I'm the first to admit I'm an idiot, and I'm pretty useless at the best of times. And so this is me just being like, hey, this is what's important to me right now, and this is how I'm dealing with it. So maybe ask somebody that question, and maybe just be honest about yourself, and you might be surprised at like the depth of relationship that you get to have with people if you're actually true with them and have some real conversation. And I've felt that lack in Fiji actually until I met Tui. Tui's the first guy that's actually been able that I've met who's like a peer who's actually been able to like talk about real stuff and actually have a conversation beyond like just like joking around and being shitheads. And that's the thing that I felt the most loss coming here from Canada was losing my friends who I had a lot of history with and who knew everything about me, like my deepest, darkest secrets, to the best times growing up. And we would be able to just go deep like right now, like no problem. And we still can. And so when I came here, I was like, there's nobody that will dive deep with me. And I think a lot of you guys don't know what it's actually like to have a friend like that. And you'd probably be surprised at like how much you grow when you have a friend like that who is like actually willing to like challenge you on things and ask you good questions. It's not just about being accountable and being like, yeah, I struggle with this and I struggle with that. And like, how are you doing with that? Like, tell me about a dark secret that you struggle with. And it's like, no, it's not about that all the time. It's sometimes just being like, what's important to you right now and how are you dealing with it? So we probably lost everybody.
No, everybody's enjoying it. Thank you. Thank you for, just like sharing to us and like what are you going through, bro. I really didn't know you're going through that. Sorry I didn't ask you.
No, it's fine. I don't think I need anybody to feel sorry for me. This is not the point of this whole thing. It's like, I'm a grown-ass man and I'm a father and I should be fine. And like, I don't want to talk about it. Here's the thing I was wrestling with today, guys, because like, I haven't talked to Steph about this even. Because I haven't come to terms with like she's enjoying her holiday. She has every right to enjoy her holiday with her best friend. This place, this village is like this is my home. Like I came here when I was a kid. I didn't grow up here, but I've been exposed to this over my life, you know. But this is new for Steph, 4 years new. But like, there's a lot of Kaiwalangi ladies who would not put up with this living situation, and she's a beast, and she, like, I don't know if everybody understands like what we got going on here. Like it's a roof over our head and it keeps us dry, and it's a beautiful home and it's quite large. She's got 5 bedrooms, but it's shared with our family, and at any point people are in here. There's little to no privacy at the best of times, and that's very hard for somebody who grew up where like you have big fences and your own house, and you don't like it's you don't. This is not, and so she deserves every amount of enjoyment that she's having with her friend, and so that's why I haven't talked to her about it, because it's like it feels like I'm a pussy if I talk to her about it, and that's probably what'll happen after this. If there's people in the comments or whatever. But I was wrestling, that's where I was going with this. I was wrestling with it today because it's like, as a man, I don't feel like I should talk about this. Because like, you should have your shit figured out. Sorry, I'm cursing a lot. But it's like, or maybe this is just like how I feel. and maybe I should just talk about it, and maybe it'll help me. Maybe, like, I'm not looking for advice from Tui or Koroi or from you guys, but like, why can't I talk about it? And I think a lot of times, like, maybe we feel like we shouldn't talk about things because, like, you shouldn't feel that way. But it's like, okay, maybe you shouldn't feel that way, but you do. And you can change the fact that you do. And that's just me right now. I'm like, I can't change the fact that I feel the way I feel.
Yeah.
And so I just want to talk about it because it's just how I feel.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't feel like this. I wish I didn't have to talk about this today. But it's just like, maybe you guys can just, if I can do this to everybody out here, like, then you guys can sure do it to, like, your best friend. Yeah. And if you feel like you can't talk about the way you're feeling because other people don't feel that way, then I would discourage you against those feelings. And I hope that you have a friend who doesn't just spoil you. Because you feel the way you feel, and you might not even, you don't want to feel that way, but you do feel that way. And so I hope you have somebody that can hear you out. Or I hope you're the person that can hear somebody out and not spoil somebody. Because I think there's a lot of us who feel certain ways and we feel like we can't talk about it because, like, we have no reason. I have 100 million things to be grateful for. And this is not a feel sorry for John moment here. And that's not what I'm asking from you guys. But, like, I just feel this way. And so I talk about it.
Yeah. Sometimes,
What do you think?
like, you get to the point where you can't hold it all in, you know? And talking about it is the solution. You know your own, like, solution.
Yeah.
But, like, sometimes I like, just like how you said, you don't need an answer from me, you don't need an answer from Corey or from everybody. And I feel that's just how it is. Like, there's certain things that we can talk about it that I would give you an advice for. And in this situation, just hearing you out.
Yeah, like, you don't always have to give
Yeah,
advice.
I don't have to have a solution
no.
for it. I don't have to give you something.
No.
Just talking about it
Yeah.
will help you. Like,
Maybe even just
Release.
being like, it's okay that you feel that way.
yeah.
Like, because, like, I haven't talked to, I hope she doesn't watch this live, but, like, I haven't talked to Steph about this because I don't want her to not enjoy what she's doing, and I don't want
To feel
her,
bad.
Huh?
To feel bad.
Yeah, definitely don't want her to feel bad. I haven't talked to her about it because, like, I don't want her to know how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, it's ridiculous. To me, the way I feel is ridiculous.
Mm.
And so it's preventing me from actually, like, getting it out of myself. And so I haven't talked to her about it, and I don't really intend to because, like, I want her just to enjoy her time. And so yeah, you don't really have to give a solution, but, like, just to be there for somebody.
Yeah.
Like, Steph is not here for me right now, nor should she be. She deserves to be where she is. But I just obviously need to get something off my chest.
Yeah.
And there's probably somebody around you or you that you need to do the same thing. And so that'd be one thing that I'd like to do, is just have, like, a space. What I would love to do when we open our Suva location is that hopefully one day we could just have, like, a counselor on site. Like, if it was profitable enough to just have, like, a safe space for people to, I want our coffee shop to be about meaningful relationships and deep conversations.
Yeah.
And so I really hope that we have the ability to facilitate, like, somebody who can be there either full time or from time to time, where people can just come in, get a coffee, and just have, like, a private space to just chill and talk with people and just to share just the way they're feeling.
Yeah.
I want our brand to be about that. And I would love if Fresh Tea and Coffee was known for a place where people, like, come in and fall in love, or come in brokenhearted and leave with something to think about, or or
Yeah.
just to be a place where intentional conversation is had. I guess. Yeah.
This is one thing. I'm gonna like piggyback on what you're saying. Like, Steph is your support system, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
You talk to her about all these things, but like, I guess that goes for all men. Like, it's easier for men to open up to a women than to just a bunch of guys, because
Yeah.
mostly we don't talk about these things, and so like creating this kind of safe space where this is something that I always love to have. Like, you
I know, like that's
like, let's
you're
not talk
passionate about
the-
that, right?
Yeah, let's not talk about the norm. Let's not talk about like, hey, girl, doing this, that. Let's have intentional conversations, right?
Yeah.
And because we don't have that space,
Yeah.
yeah, for as men. I don't know about here in Fiji,
But-
I haven't seen somebody who's like doing those kind of things, like counseling, like a bunch of group of men just come in and
Yeah.
talk about things. Yeah.
I also think, like, to piggyback off what you're
Yeah.
saying now, like that we are so much closer to like to what's the word that I'm looking for? Like cannibalism was not that long ago, right? Like warring amongst tribes was not that long ago compared to like say like the Crusades in England or that like kind of bloodshed time, right? Like we are a lot closer to like being bush people than Canadians are. And so we're probably still a few generations away from that level of conversation, because just a few generations ago, me sharing my feelings to you was not advantageous. Like it didn't do our group, our family any good to be in our fields. It did not help us to survive. So it's like, handle your stuff, you handle your stuff, and let's just survive. We get food,
Yeah.
and we protect, and we survive. But like me crying with you or crying with you doesn't do anything for us. Put food on the table as a man, and women, childbearing, and look after the house or like the family and provide in that way, and men defend. Like, but talking is not helpful for our community. So I'm just saying, like in the past, I think it was like that, and we're a lot closer to that. And so I think that as the generations go on, this kind of like conversation will be more common, hopefully.
And it just creates that deeper relationship, like
Oh, for sure.
like to like you as a friend and a brother.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I understand what you're going through. It just creates more trust in each other and build that relationship towards another. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. People
you,
are
by
like,
the way.
oh my gosh. Stop talking about this already.
Hey,
Any questions or anything?
now just people commenting, like, saying don't give up, like, on your side, basically. So thank you.
Oh,
to
trust me,
everybody.
I'm not giving up.
Yeah.
Come too far to give up.
Okay, there's a question here from Tia Bunimbola.
If you guys have questions, please ask. Like, because that's what this is about. I'd actually rather not talk about any of the stuff that we got on the screen. Like, this is all great stuff, but like, if we can just keep this conversation going, this is the best.
Oh, yeah, see. Okay, from Tia. Drambula, have you heard of this guy on YouTube? Be a Man by Dax.
Be a man?
Yeah, by Dax.
No.
Oh no. It's Tia. Oh, this is Tia, Tia Bunimbola. The guys from here.
Who?
They came here one time. We did a episode.
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, I got it here. I'll listen to it after this. Okay. So it's the song by Dax, To Be a Man.
Oh, this is Dax, the Black American.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
We'll listen to it after this. Thank you, Tia.
Yeah.
Oh, Tia. No, yeah.
I love this topic where we as men talk and share real thoughts and struggles we go through. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tia. Appreciate that.
From Ryan Reddy. Find other men to help you to solve problems. In my experience and what I've seen from other men, it never goes well looking towards women for emotional support.
Yeah, right.
Pros and cons, I guess. Yeah? What do you
What's
think?
that?
I mean, there's like good stuff too, and like, this is, it goes
Yeah,
back
like
to,
I usually am fine when Steph is around, obviously.
yeah.
But like, you guys gotta keep in mind, like, a lot of couples, like, they live in like a community that they're comfortable in,
Mm.
and then the wife goes to work and the husband goes to work, or one of them stays home, and then they come together at the end of the day to like parent the kids, and then they're tired and they go to bed. Like, me and Stephanie are together like a lot, and we're in a community that like we're not fully naturally immersed in, and so we naturally, without thinking about it, without being like, you are the love of my life and I shall never leave you, we just like, we love each other's company, and so we end up hanging out all the time. And so we're just by default like a lot closer than I think most couples, and so I think that's why it's hitting me harder than. And I haven't been like, I used to come to Fiji for like 1 month or 2 months at a time, and it wasn't like awesome, but like it was fine. But this time it's like, and this is also like this is like 7 years into having kids, and so plus all the pressure and all that stuff. But like, I'm feeling, all these years that me and Stephanie have been together, and now in this place where we're like, we really like hold on to each other like really tight to like support each other, to like not give up, right, and to like keep pressing on despite like it being tough. And I don't need to like talk to you guys or cry in front of you guys, but like when she's gone, it's like, oh, I didn't know that like that was that important to me.
Yeah.
And like, that's why I'm like, you're an idiot for feeling this way, but I just feel this way, so I don't know what else to do about it. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a woman, but in this case, it's like, that's just, well, I guess what I'm used to without knowing that I'm like so used to chatting with her. Right? How is it?
All right.
Huh? Yeah, you drink tea? Ew.
So moving on.
You're already
Got
full? Go ahead.
Got a question, yeah,
Yeah.
from Peace LM. Okay, I've been promoted in a leadership role at work. As a Pacific Islander, I feel inadequate at times, thinking I don't really contribute as much. I'm more of a quiet achiever. Any advice?
Okay, can you read it
Read
back
that
to me,
again.
sorry, so that I can...
I've been promoted in a leadership role at work.
Hmm.
As a Pacific Islander, I feel inadequate at times, thinking I don't really contribute as much. I'm more of a quiet achiever. Any advice?
I think, so, yeah, buddy. Yeah, okay, because it's raining, careful. Okay. All right, so I can only just speak from like my own experience. So you're a Pacific Islander and you've been put in a leadership role and you feel inadequate. You're more of a quiet achiever. So that was, all those things actually are me. I'm like, oh, I don't know how to answer this. Yeah, I'm like, not out here though. Not out here. Oh, right. Sorry guys. I am unlocking the iPad so my son can play because it's raining outside. Oh. There you go. So he's not wet and muddy yet, so I'll keep it that way and just let him play on the iPad till we're done. There was a church that I went to in Canada, and the leadership board of that church, my name was nominated to be on the board of elders for this church. And I was, I moved here, I was like 24, and so I was the youngest guy to be nominated, and then the whole church votes on it, and they accepted that I'd be on the board. And I didn't feel adequate to do it. But one thing that I did do was I just listened a lot to like the guys who were there before me.
Yeah.
Like not listen to them like, you tell me what to do and I'll do whatever, yes master. Just like, what do they talk about? Like how do they talk? What is the like type of language that they use? And obviously you're doing something right because like you've been put into this role. So like keep working within your strengths and keep doing what you do, because they don't want you to do, you might have a different role, but like keep doing the things that got you to the game, I guess. Don't change it all up. But what you'll do is like you will look back on this and you will realize that like this was a really super inspirational time in your life when somebody believed in you for the first time. And when I assume it's like your first leadership role, and you'll realize that like people, like this moment that you're experiencing right now will give you the confidence to go and be a leader for the rest of your life. Like it will be the foundation on which you find the authority to be able to speak to people, to give instruction, to serve your customers, your employees that are now below you. And so know that like somebody has believed in you, and back yourself. And if you're young, be the fresh ideas guy. Do something like it. I'll tell you guys, like there was a moment where we needed a lot of money for the something that was going on at church, and we didn't come from a super big church, so we didn't know what to do as a leadership team. And so I was like pretty like straightforward with them. I'm like, hey, look, if we need the money, like we can just go to the congregation on a Sunday and be like, look guys, we're short on a budget by about $7,000, so we need everybody to chip in a little bit more money next month so that we can catch up on the budget. We can just say that because we're all members of this community. But until then, why don't we just stop everything right now and just pray and just ask God to provide? And we prayed, and then within the next few days, all the money came in. And they all kind of looked at me like, okay, let's do it, because that's what we're supposed to do as Christians anyways. I'm just giving you an example. People have put you into this leadership position because they want your fresh ideas, because they think that you have something that would benefit the company. So if you lead from the back, you're a quiet person, but like they see something in you that like they want to like push the business and the corporation forward. So trust your instincts and like share the feelings that you have. If you feel like they're legit and this is what you would do, then just share it and be like, hey guys, what if we did something like this? And if they say no, okay, big deal. But like you're in that position for a reason. So back yourself, and like you are the young person and they want your new ideas. So like give it to them. That's what I would say.
I like that. Yeah. Hope that answers Peace LM's question. Alright. How do you want to end this? Do you want to end it with news?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I want to answer a lady's question.
Okay.
That was talking about gossip.
Okay.
So there is a wonderful young lady. Actually, I don't know if she's younger than me or not. But her question today, she asked a series of questions. Okay. I'm going to keep her anonymous because it's kind of private. Hi, I work in a very female-dominated workspace. How can I eliminate... What was that? Huh? You fell down? You fell asleep?
No.
Okay, hi, I work in a very female-dominated workplace. How can I eliminate workplace gossip? I prefer not to participate in these convos, but it's everywhere you turn, to the point that I actively choose not to talk to people because I know it'll end up gossiping about someone and their business. So that's her question. How can I eliminate workplace gossip? Well, I don't, like, so I don't know if you can actually like eliminate gossip unless you're in a position to like get rid of people who gossip. So in our company in Canada, if we employ all women, so if any of the girls are dramatic or they gossip, they're just fired. So we don't really like, we tell them that when we hire them. We have like a no, like what is it called? Like a no excuses policy or whatever. Like if you do this thing, like it's a one and done. Like, and we'll pay you your 2 week severance or whatever you deserve, but like we don't put up with it. So you might not be in the position where you can just like get rid of people, and so I was like, oh, when you asked me this question, I just had to like go to the Bible and see what it says about gossip, because that's just, if it didn't, then I would go somewhere else, I guess. But the best verse that I found was Proverbs 18, verse 8, and it says, "The words of a gossip are like choice morsels; they go down to a man's inmost parts." So the words of a gossip, so the words of somebody who likes to gossip are like choice morsels. So like gossip is like really super tasty. Like it's really, I want to know the details. I want to be a part of this conversation. Or, okay, that's juicy. That like it tastes good going down. But that goes down into like our heart, and we have no. If it didn't come from the horse's mouth, so we have no reason to feel that way, and it might not be true about that person, and so we start believing things about people that might not even actually be the truth, which is a problem, and so, like, I mean, the Bible talks about it in many different places, but like, you know, what comes out of our mouth, the actions that we do, is actually what's in our heart. And so if we choose to keep participating in these gossipy conversations, that'll just be like what's in our heart. And I feel that when I hear rumors about other people, I mean, we've even had conversations where like I hear rumors and then I just like talk to Tui, like, hey, what's going on? And then it's like, oh, okay, well, that's very simple. And we sort it out between each other before anything else. And so, like, having that direct one-on-one conversation, also being a person that's like, you know what? I don't believe that, like, you would say this in front of that person, so, like, please don't talk to me about it. Because, like, that's how I've always kind of, like, identified gossip. I don't know if that's actually true. But, like, if it's something that I wouldn't say in front of the other person, then, like, usually it's probably a good indication that, like, I shouldn't talk about it. And so, yeah, just be cautious. And if you can fire them, just fire them. But if you can't, then, yeah, continue what to do and avoid the conversation, or be the person that's like, you know, I don't believe that this conversation is, like, constructive to, like, the direction that our organization is trying to go in. So we probably shouldn't be having these conversations. That's probably what I would say if I was struggling with that in my workplace. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Another question, is your wife from Sydney, Australia? No, she's not from Sydney, Australia. But she very well could be. But she's from Canada. She is from British Columbia, Canada. Are there any differences between Viti Levu living and life in Vanuatu? Yeah. Where do I start? So I was just in Viti Levu at the women's conference. You guys probably, I just say it like that because you guys are like, yeah, we got it. You're at the women's conference. I don't go there often, but they're like, it's very different. To the point where like it could totally be a different country. Vanuatu can be like a pretty hopeless place from the stance of a startup business owner, because there's just not a lot of look northness going on in Fiji, and so we can change that, and we will, and we're starting to. But life in Viti Levu was very much more fast-paced. It is. Vanuatu was just on a different timeline altogether. It's very, very laid back. and the feeling of like communities. I feel it way more here. But like I was in Suva, right? So like I don't know exactly, but yeah, like there's a lot more tourists. There's a lot. That's where all the heads of the embassies and the NGOs and the businesses, everything's in Suva, right? So it's much more. You run into people in the lobby of the Holiday Inn, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. Usually I run into you in the bus and it's like we're just both sweaty and like, in the back of like your shop. And like to see you here, like in this fancy hotel, it's like, wow. I'm talking about Hamza actually, I'll just say. Because I ran into Hamza when we checked into the Holiday Inn and I was like, dude, this is so weird to see you here. Like this is, like Hamza is the owner of A Hussein, or one of the owners of A Hussein and Global Warehouse, who distribute the Radar tires, sponsoring today's live. I always see him in Labasa. And so to see it, he is in Suva more than he is in Labasa though. So that is more normal to him probably than this is. But I'm just like, oh yeah. Where I see you is not your normal. That's my normal. Yeah. But the thing I get is like lots of people in Suva love the idea of Honolulu, or they wish they could be up here. They just don't like the city life and the hustle and bustle and the traffic and all that stuff. What do you think?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, I was brought up in Suva.
You were brought up in Suva, yeah.
And I moved here in 2014. At first, I felt like I was not in my place.
Right.
Just like I said. Like as time goes by, I start to, enjoy the peaceful and slow pace of this place. And now then, when I go to Suva, I don't know, there's a sort of anxiety or something. I just wanna quickly come back.
Right.
Because
like it's sweet.
Just so busy for me.
Yeah.
Over there. And
I loved it for the few days we were there.
Yeah.
Like that was life giving.
Yeah. I guess like for a few days, but like see myself again there, I don't.
Full time.
Yeah.
Different story.
It's like I don't feel like it's my place, even though I was born and brought up there. I just don't feel like that's my place anymore. Yeah.
Give the mic to Corey. So you spend lots of time you spent some time in Suva, right? Going to school and stuff?
Yeah.
What do you think about, you can make a better assessment than I can of Vitilevu versus Vanuatu. What do you think? Like, not like which one is better, maybe which one is better, but like, a big difference, do you think?
Yeah.
Between them, or not really?
Like, we live in the, let's talk about Suva.
Yeah.
Like back in Honolulu or like back in my village.
Yep. Yeah, like Honolulu almost like Motorica, like
just
island
like
life.
this, eh?
Yeah.
Like in Suva, like everything is according to time. You have to work on the times and like you're busy every time.
Yeah.
You have lots of things to worry about and the things around you. But like here, in the village life or in Honolulu, like even though like Honolulu is a big island too, like Vitilevu.
Yeah, it's big, yeah.
But for me, when I like living here, the same is like living. You have nothing to worry about. You have no like the traffics every day, every morning, every evening, every time you hear the.
Your only traffic is the chickens coming in.
Yeah, only
in the
the chicken making noises.
Yeah.
But, but like Honolulu is way better than Vitilevu.
For you in that way.
Yeah. Like Suva and here in the village.
Yeah. I get it. That makes sense to me. That would be, that's my answer to that question. I'm going to just go through here and just see if anybody asked any more questions. Okay. Oh, Paul. Is Paul in here right now? I don't know. He asked a question. Yeah. What does Easter mean to you?
Easter?
Like, I'm trying to like get away from like the cliche of Easter. I often think of the story where the two disciples are like, they've been told that like, oh, the grave is empty, and I'm just thinking, I'm just giving you like what comes to my mind when I think of Easter. Like, yes, Jesus dying on the cross, all of the analogy that's built into the temple curtain being torn, meaning that like now we can go into the inner room, and how the Passover from the early times in Egypt, like the slaughtering of the lamb and the blood of the lamb, and then how that cross and Jesus is like, he's the lamb, now he's the sacrifice, and now we don't have to do all that stuff anymore, and he is the unlocking of all that stuff. But I often think of like those two disciples running, and then one disciple runs faster than the other disciple, and like one is just late, and they're just so excited, and they get to the tomb and they see that it's empty. And I just picture the feeling of like, it's a Resurrection Monday, the feeling of those two disciples when they would have gotten to the grave and just seen that it was empty, and being like, oh, that's like what we get every day of the week. Yeah, so Easter, like Christmas is awesome. Easter would be first or second. Yeah. Thank you, Paul, for the question. So, is anybody left?
You're still here.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sticking it out.
1,000.
5 million people watching you cry on national TV.
Can we read something of the talking point?
The what?
Talking point.
Yeah, what do we... Okay, so
Let's just talk about the game tomorrow, I guess.
I'll talk about the game tomorrow, but first I'll talk about Batisarisari and Gilio,
Oh, yeah?
because that's been a big headline this week. So our ex-prime minister... I don't actually have anything to say because I haven't been really following it a lot. Obviously, I'm not for people who take over with coup d'etats. So there is a reason for democracy, but sometimes democracy is flawed, and maybe votes are not cast well or in honesty, or maybe there's deception in that. And so obviously at one time Batisarisari took over the government, but also the same thing happened with Rambuka, right? And so pick your poison. They're both probably great guys in their own right. They probably both have flaws. They do both have flaws, and they're also great guys in their own right. They're probably great uncles. Like, you guys ever think of that? Like, when we talk about politicians, like, you ever think about, like, maybe you hate Rambuka, but everything maybe is just like a really good grandpa, or like Batisarisari, he might be a really good husband. Like, there might be parts about him that are not good, like me. But there might also be parts about him that make him human, that like his wife actually really loves him, or there's somebody that he did something for once that they really love him for. And so in all this, the one thing that we have to be careful of in our democracy is people need to be held accountable for what they do. And I'm just saying, this is all I'm saying. We need to be careful about jailing our opposition. And what I mean by this is like, what we run the risk of is that like every last president, or every last prime minister, is going to, if we start this, I'm very worried that like next time, if Rambuka is not re-elected, that he'll be put in jail. And then that the next time, that person will be put in jail. And so you just have to keep winning the election, because like if you're, it feels like it's going to turn out like a judges or a king situation in the Bible, where just like his son killed him, and then he reigned, and then he was killed. He reigned for 3 months, and then he was killed by so and so, and then he reigned. And it's just like, it's very risky once we start just like jailing our opposition, and so people need to be held accountable. So I don't know exactly what I'm trying to get at here, and I'm not a politician, but it can be a slippery slope. People need to be held accountable for what they do, but we need to be careful that we don't just like the best way to have, how does the saying go? The best way to fight bad ideas is with better ideas, and the best way to fight like bad conversation is with better arguments. And so we need to facilitate a world in which we don't just like shut people up in jail or by physically, or literally shutting them up, but like where I am actually effectively trying to change your mind with better ideas and to bring people over to our side, whether that's left or right or whatever, religious or whatever. We have to be okay like with not seeing eye to eye. We have to be okay with not being on the same team all the time, and that it's all right to not be like, we have to agree to disagree, basically. And there's a book that was written called the Intolerance of Tolerance. Yeah. And it was just talking about like how now in this world, like, we can't agree to disagree anymore, and it's a very, very dangerous path that we're walking down. And when we get to the point where like, if you don't agree with me on all of the things that I mark as like important things that I believe in my life, then like we cannot be friends. But like having the ability to agree to disagree with people is actually like a very, very big strength, and something that like holds our society together. And so we need to fight bad ideas with better ideas and be able to agree to disagree, and hopefully the better ideas come out on top.
I love that. I love that. Liam, thank you guys. One of the best lives. Keeping it honest and real. Walang kinamasyo. And to
Thank
your
you, Norm.
family and team.
Appreciate Norm
So,
for always
Liam,
being
Liam,
on
sorry.
there. Liam. Oh, that was Liam?
Yeah.
Oh, they said Norm.
Liam.
Liam. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Liam. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. And normally he says,
Yeah, we'll come out there one day, Liam, for sure. Come and hang out.
yeah. Liam. Nom says, Frank likes this time, like this time of the year, of the year, he dresses up as the Easter Bunny Marama.
Yeah, Bani Marama. You an idiot, bro. You're an idiot.
Easter Bunny Marama.
So there's actually Drua game, I guess tomorrow is against the Western Forest.
Both teams.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Fijiana.
Fijiana and
Obviously Fijiana's going to win because we're the best. And I'm going to try to start talking about them more because here's the thing about the women's
Insight.
conference,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah.
That we were just at, is that one of the guys there presenting was the CEO for Rooster Chicken, and they are obviously the premier sponsor for the Fijiana and Drua. And actually, like, one thing that was so rude, like, I'm very rarely offended by like racial comments or anything that's like kind of like hinting at that, but there was a commentator last year who was like, can we get a sponsor that's different than roasted chicken for the Fijiana? Remember that?
No.
Yeah, there was like
No.
some commentator
Oh,
was like, can we get a new sponsor? Like, they really have to be sponsored by roasted chicken? And I was like, yeah. Because like that's like a cliche that like black people love chicken. Or like
Yeah.
fried chicken. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh dude, that's so tasteless. And whatever, I didn't really think about it any further beyond that. But when I heard the presentation from the CEO of Rooster Chicken at the women's conference, I was like, I wish that you guys could have heard it, because like I walked away from it being like, I don't want to buy the competition's chicken anymore. And like I was actually found myself at the grocery store this week buying chicken for my grandma's birthday and like looking for Rooster Chicken and just buying. They didn't even have the size I wanted, but I bought it anyways because I'm like, oh, they're actually a cool company, well, I'm not affiliated with any of them. So Crest might actually do really cool things in the community. I just don't know about it, and that's the advantage of creating content. And that's what the CEO for Rooster Chicken was doing that day. He was creating content on the stage, like he was talking to us, and I found out about the Rooster story, and I'm like, that's cool. You guys are really neat. You guys shell out hundreds of thousands of dollars for this team. And I want to be part of that. And like, if I'm going to spend money, I want like, even if it's like 1 cent per chicken, probably not even, it's probably 0.001 cent on the chicken. I want that to go to the company that supports these girls.
Yeah.
And so at the women's conference, there was a few men who spoke, me being one of them. And there was some uproar on Twitter about the fact that like I shared and some of these other guys. So we had the CEO from Rooster Chicken. We had the CEO of the Fiji Development Bank, and myself and Anil Tikaram, who runs Waitika Farms. And so I think that was all the men. But there was some women, and probably many women. If there's one, there's probably more, who were upset that men were speaking at the women's conference. And my initial thought was, like, in this battle that women are trying to fight for equality, and just to be clear, I believe in equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. And so I believe that we should all have this same opportunity to do things, but it depends on you and me to put in the work to reach the outcome. So like, we are not all guaranteed the same outcome, but we should be able to have the same opportunities. So if that's what we're talking about when I talk about equality, I'm not talking about like, I start the job, you start the job, and then like we both end up at the same spot by default. No, like if you work harder than me as a woman, you should achieve more. And I know that doesn't happen. And so when I talk about equality, that's what I'm talking about. I don't just believe in like everybody should be on the same level no matter what. No, you still need to work hard to achieve what you know more than other people. And so with men speaking at a women's conference, the simple end of it is like, don't you want men who have achieved, who are on your side as women? There's a lot of men who aren't in Fiji, especially. Like, all the men speaking are like for women. And like, if you can have like some of the people from the other side, male, who have actually like shown that like, hey, that we support your side, like, those are the kind of guys like me, like Saud from FDB, like the CEO of Rooster Chicken. These are the kind of people that like you should be embracing, because like they're on your side. We are actually for you women. And so for me to be speaking there, it's not like I'm trying to take away from other women. It's like, you should be like embracing this, because like these guys are like trying to get, like, I have a better chance of convincing other men to follow me than you do as a woman. That might not be a popular opinion, but like, if I'm the person who's like, I'm all for women in business, I have a better chance of convincing other men of that than you do as a woman, saying to the men like, you need to let us be a part of business. Like, I have more authority just because I'm on that side. So like, embrace us. And I don't care if you do. I'm just saying, like, that's probably the best way. Like, if you're fighting a war and somebody comes in from the enemy side, enemy lines, and they're like, this is where all the people are hiding. This is where, like, we're watching Band of Brothers, right? Like, say like somebody comes in, they're like, there's a gun over there, there's a gun over there, and a gun over there. You're not going to be like, oh, I can't believe, like, don't listen to him. You're going to take that advice, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that's going to help us win the battle.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's how women should look at men who are like on the side. And the guy, Saud from FDB, there's like 13% or something like that women in FDB. FDB is like, has 180 employees. Now 90 are men and 90 are women. That's insane. Like, there's 50-50 split in a government organization. And I think the board is like 4 men and 3 women. And obviously boards can never be an even amount of people, because like they have to vote, so they can't have like 4 vote. Like, there can be 8 people on a board, and then you get like 4 and 4 for a vote. But that's kind of what I have to say about, like, women embrace the guys who are on your team, and like not elevate them, like celebrate them, so that because like they will be the guys who pull more guys over to the like, hey, give women some equality as well. Yeah. Or what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I love that. You know, we were having this conversation yesterday, and you
Yeah.
were telling me about it. It's like, oh wow, I actually didn't know that, and that's, yeah.
And like say with like, I'll just talk. Actually, I won't talk about any of this stuff that we have here. I guess one of the cool things about Rooster Chicken was that they will like, they'll pack up buses with like their employees and everything, and like drive from Suva down to Nandi to pick up the Fijiana, like from when they come back from games.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, like, or when they won the championship or
Yeah.
whatever, and they like obviously buy the jerseys. Then like every once in a while they put on like big lobos and feasts for them, and like he was showing pictures of like just the employees from like the farms
Yeah.
sitting with like the Fijiana
Fijiana.
girls, just like hanging out with them, grogging together, like powdering each other and everything like
Yeah.
that. And I was like, this is a company that I could get behind.
Yeah.
And the fact that I know Crest might do more good things than Rooster,
Yeah.
but I don't know about them. And now like Rooster's talked about it, and now I get to talk to you guys about it, and I'm like, go buy Rooster, right?
Yeah.
Because like they actually do something cool that I believe should be supported. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's just insane. I was like, oh, okay, no wonder they invited him.
Yeah,
So,
'cause, like,
that makes sense.
it makes
that
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or from Bill again from Holiday Inn.
Hey.
Pinaka, Mr. Batisarisari, and your loyal crew. Really enjoyed the show and so emotional listening to you. And thanks for the great feedback on your stay at Holiday Inn Suva. Looking forward to meeting Eliki, Seva, and Koroi. Pinaka.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll come down there, and we'll bring the whole crew with us one day. One day, very, very soon. Anyways, guys, it is. We've almost been doing this for 2 hours now, so I gotta go make dinner for the kids. So is that all good?
Yeah.
Can I sign
it's
out?
fine.
We'll just save these headlines and talk about it.
Sure. Yeah.
On Monday, because we kind of digressed.
Yeah.
I gotta say. So we appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you to Hamza, Asif, and Hazim at A Hussein Global Warehouse for sponsoring today, and we'll keep you guys updated on the Radar tires that they sell. If you guys need tires for your vehicle, I think they definitely have by far the biggest selection in Fiji. So go check them out. Radar tires at Global Warehouse or A Hussein, and thank you guys for listening to me, and go have a good conversation with somebody. Again, the question is, what's important to you right now, and how are you dealing with it? Just ask somebody that question tonight and just see where the conversation goes. Appreciate you guys very much. My name is Jonathan. This was On the Mat, and we will catch you guys again on Monday at 4:30. Appreciate you guys.
Yo.
Male.
Mole.